Of India's several airlines, the largest, Air India, is Tata controlled. Operating over 6,000 miles of routes, it has built up an excellent reputation for efficient operation. Established in 1932, the line connects the large cities of India and now maintains an international service reaching to London.
Jet travel has brought East and West close together, and now the harassed passenger crossing the Atlantic has the beauty of the Orient at his elbow.
Welcome. In this video, we are going to talk about Air India. (1903) was the year when the Wright brothers flew the first airplane of the world. About 8 years later, in 1911, the first airplane was flown in India. Its pilot was a Frenchman, Henri Paquet. The flight from Allahabad to Naini lasted 15 minutes and carried thousands of letters. You heard it right. The first flight in India was actually carrying mail. It was carrying letters for the Mahakumbh fair. About 20 years later, JRD Tata became the first Indian to acquire a flying license. On 15th of October 1932, JRD Tata flew the first Air India plane from Karachi to Mumbai. At that time it wasn't called Air India, but was Tata Airlines. Flying planes was his passion. It was his dream. In fact, he had even participated in a contest in which he flew an airplane from India to England. But he had another dream: to bring civil aviation to India. Civil aviation meant giving the commoners the opportunity to fly in an airplane. But it wasn't easy to do this. To do this, cooperation from the government was needed. But during the 1930s, India was under British Raj, and the British government was obviously not very helpful. As you can imagine, they saw no profits in paying JRD Tata or giving him subsidies to enable him to fly his domestic planes in the country. At that time, Sir Dorabji Tata was a prominent person, being JRD's father's nephew. He agreed to invest in his dreams. And then, one day he went to the British government and told them that they didn't need their money, and that they would donate their services. They only wanted some aircraft and permission to fly those aircraft. And finally, the British government agreed to it. And thus the Tata Airlines was born in India. After that, Tata Airlines started domestic flight operations for the passengers. One return ticket from Bombay to Madras cost 256 rupees. You can imagine how much it would have been in today's money. (1946) was the year when Tata Airlines was renamed Air India. In the same year, Air India became a public limited company. A company in which even you and I can purchase shares. In 1948, when India was already independent, the new Indian government bought 49% shares of Air India. At the same time, JRD Tata started Air India International for international flights. The next major change was in 1953. It was a disheartening event for JRD Tata. The Indian government decided that the entire airline sector of India would be nationalised, meaning all the Indian airline companies would become government-owned. The government then merged 8 domestic airlines into one, and Indian Airlines was thus created. The domestic wing of Air India was one of these 8 companies. Additionally, the government had also nationalised Air India International.